Hello and welcome to the news updates on NT International. I am Ame. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres says...
Hello there and thank you so much. It's Friday edition of Your Business Nigeria. These are the stories we are following up for you at this time, and we are live from our Abuja studios. Federal government reaffirms affordable housing plan for low-income earners as FG cuts all block signature bonuses to boost investments. That's according to the NUPRC. Japan, China markets dent Asia as economic political uncertainty drags. Now, in our interview segment today, two very important topics as always. We'll start with Nigeria's automotive industry. Of course, what's been happening in that space, considering current cost of vehicles, maintenance, and all of that. What is the National Automotive Design and Development Council doing with regards to discussions and, of course, conversations that we'll be having all around this? What's playing out? What are the updates in that space? We'll start with that today. And on the flip side of the show, we'll continue our series of conversation on enlightening Nigerians with regards to the Nigerian tax reforms law and in a stabilizing economy. We also have the right person in the house to discuss that on the program today. These and more would be our focus. But first, let's bring you up to speed with some stories making headlines around the world of business. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Mr. Ahmed Dangiwa, says the federal government is doing everything possible to make housing affordable for low-income Nigerians. The minister disclosed this during the 4th Amedo Business Summit in Enugu with theme Thriving in Times Like This. According to him, government housing will be offered at affordability-based pricing, not more than 1/3 of the person's income, and ensuring that ownership is within reach for all. He added that the federal government will stabilize prices, create jobs, and reduce import dependence through the establishment of building materials manufacturing hubs across the 6 geopolitical zones. In a goodwill message, the acting director of the Federal Mortgage Bank, Mrs. Chineye Anosike, notes that thriving in challenging times requires resilience, innovation, and strategic adaptation, as well as collaboration. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission says the federal government has reduced signature bonuses for all blocks from about $100 million to $10 million. The Commission's chief executive, Mr. Gbenga Komolafe, disclosed this at the Association of Energy Correspondents Conference in Lagos. He said the downward review of signature bonuses is among several strategic reforms introduced to reposition Nigeria's upstream petroleum sector for growth and competitiveness. The NUPRC boss said the single policy shift has enhanced investor confidence, enabled early field development, and reaffirmed Nigeria's standing as a transparent investment destination. He said the NUPRC has implemented a fully digital and transparent licensing framework to improve efficiency and reduce human interference during bid rounds. According to him, the Commission has prioritized production optimization and enhanced oil recovery by supporting brownfield projects and reviewing fields development plans. Now, to our first conversation, the lingering non-passage of the automotive policy into law is discouraging original equipment manufacturers from investing in Nigeria's local assembly plants. Well, this was the position of discussants at the summit held by the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which held in Lagos. The DG of NADDC explained that the prolonged delay in the bill will affect critical investments and slow down sectoral growth. He, however, applauded President Bola Tinubu for his commitment to the development of Nigeria's automotive sector. He said the NAIDP has been the roadmap for developing Nigeria's automotive industry, but for the lawmakers to pass into law, that has been a challenge. But we'll look more into this and, of course, development in that industry, particularly what's happening with the Nigerian First policy and all around that space. And Mr. Oluwemimo Osanipin is my guest. He is the Director-General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council. He's live in the studio here in Abuja. Thank you so much. It's good to have you in, DG.
Oh, thank you for having me here.
Yes, I know, DG, I know a lot of work is going on in your council. But first, I'd like to ask the NAIDP. We've been talking about it for some time. What really are the positives? Just like in the oil and gas industry, when the PIA was passed, we know what that has done to the oil and gas industry. Tell us about the positives of this NAIDP when passed into law.
That's Nigeria Automotive Industry Development Plan. The plan was, we have the first phase of the plan, which was 2013 to 2023, while the second one took effect from 2023 to 2033. But we have looked at the plan, and after some engagement with stakeholders, so we decided that part of the plan, we want to move from plan to legislation so that it will give more comfort to the top OEMs and investors in the automotive sector, because as you know, the investment in the automotive sector is huge. So if you want to set up a fully manufacturing plant, it costs close to $2.53 billion. And because of that, you need legislation to support this. And we've gone far with the legislation. Just as I mentioned during my chat and interaction with Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we made it known how far we've gone. We've discussed with the stakeholders. The stakeholders have come together. We've reviewed the plan. We've looked at the clauses that are needed to be passed to law. So, and we've gone far with that. We are at the final stage of pushing it out to the appropriate authority to continue their own part. Because the clauses, you know, and law is not something you can just wake up and work on in 1 month, in 1 week or something like that, because a lot of things are involved. But thankfully, we've gotten all the stakeholders, we've looked at it, we've looked at different aspects, because if you are going to pass, for example, automotive law, you have to look at the existing tax law, because you have to make sure that they are not contradicting what you have in those ones. And we've gone far, really, and any moment from now, we'll be able to give you positive news concerning that. But however, we are implementing the plan. The implementation is going on in time of, because the plan sits on 7 pillars. The 7-pillar: investment promotion, market expansion, local content development, cost competitiveness, safety and standard, as well as innovation and technology. When you look at all these put together, we are already on with the implementation of the plan. Look at a market expansion, for example. The federal government has come up with first policy, which is already assisting, or which has already expanded the market. The last time, about 2 weeks ago, I was with the controller custom to thank him for what the bold step the service has taken. The custom has taken a bold step by saying all their vehicles are going to be locally assembled vehicle. They call some of the assembler together to come with their product, and then they brought their products together. They inspected those products, and from there they pick about 2 or 3 product brands that they want to be using. That is market expansion. So they've taken that one up. And then you look at technology and innovation. We've done a lot in respect to that one. Especially, you could see that CNG or new energy vehicle are new technology that Nigerians are adopting. We've done a lot in terms of that one. For example, we've developed national occupational standard to support the adoption. That is in respect of maintenance, retrofitting, and everything concerning the CNG. Also, we've done NOS, that is National Occupational Standard, on electric vehicle. And we've gone far also by providing some charging stations, and we are still providing in some higher institutions, so that will help to train our undergraduates and expose them to the new technology in auto industry. So we are doing that, and capacity building also. Nearly every month, we are training Nigerians, technicians in different parts of the country. We've done in Kano, we just finished the one in Benue State, and we are continuing. This month, before the end of this month, we are still going to do some in Oyo State, and we are planning for Borno State. and Yobe State also. So we are doing that one capacity development, which is part of the 7 pillars. So these are being worked on. However, the other area that needed to be legislated on, we are on it also.
I must say that, truth be told, we are hearing more about the NADDC than it used to be before. That's just the truth. And I know that Nigerians watching this program will agree with me. We never used to see, but since you got into that office, there's been plenty of activities. And I'm going to ask you the issue of importation of used vehicles, all of these accidented vehicles and all of that. How does that come to you, your office? What are you saying around this?
Okay, we are working on it. The used vehicle issue is part of the main thing, that part of what the legislation will take care of.
Good.
So, but even before then, we are handling it with policy. We are cooperating with, we are working in collaboration with SON, and very soon the necessary relevant ministries will release the report concerning that and the policy concerning that. Number one, we are going to ensure that the vehicle that will be coming to Nigeria, especially the used one, meets minimum requirement in terms of quality and safety. So that one will be done, and in implementing that, we are going to ensure that some certification and testing are done at the origin. That is the port of origin before sending to Nigeria. That is going to take care of the security and the safety part of it, and also take care of the issue surrounding stolen vehicles. So we are working that. And again, one other thing we are doing is with AMDON. That is the Association of Auto Dealers of Nigeria. So we've engaged them, and we've done that. We've done engagement in Kano, in Uyo, in Lagos, and then we are going to do another one pretty soon, I think, in Yola. So just to engage, because we are sensitizing them about the next step we are going to take. We are going to ensure that all motor dealers are registered, so that when you are importing vehicles, we know those that are bringing in those vehicles. And the part of what we are going to do also is to ensure that it is only those that are registered that we have the right to bring in vehicle for sales. If you bring in vehicle for personal use, that's good, you can do that. But if you are going to bring in vehicle for sales, we have to know you. We have to make sure that you are captured, so that if Nigerians buy vehicle from you, they will be able to come back and trace you. They will be able to trace, and if anything happens after that, they will be able to make recourse to the seller. So we are going to do all this and ensure that the vehicle they are bringing in meet those standards. So we have already sensitized them. We are discussing with them. Pretty soon also, that one we come up, we planned to start the enrollments of the AMDON people before the end of this year. And we've discussed with them. They are all willing. They are happy because they know that there are some elements that are not part of their members are the one causing most of the issue in that sector. So we are working with them, and that is the aim, is to ensure that the used vehicles that are coming to Nigeria meet minimum standard. Then that's not the end, because gradually we are going to phase out the use of used vehicle, that's the process, importing of used vehicle. We can develop the used vehicle market internally. That means if you buy a new vehicle, you use it for 3 years, you can trade it off and buy and get a new one. Then that one will become a used vehicle within the system. So we can start developing our own used vehicle market within the system. That's the target. That's where we are going to.
I'm going to take you up on this, because the issue of made in Nigerian vehicles, or vehicles that are being assembled here, we've had different issues of maintenance, which is something that I want you to talk about. Maintenance, service, and all of that is key. So some will tell you, oh, I have to wait for a month before I get the side mirror of my car when something happens to it. But if you drive some of these regular brands, you make your choice. You hear this is from China, this is from Tokyo, this is from... You even have choice to pick whichever ones you want. When are we getting to that point where servicing, maintenance of these vehicles coupled here will be as easy as it should be?
I can tell you that we are there already, because when the Nigerian First policy came up, the first thing we did was to have meeting with the assemblers. And one thing I emphasize in that meeting is availability of service, that's workshops. And again, because for you to say you have after-sales service, you talk about availability of workshop as well as availability of parts. So that's what we've discussed. And you can see now, as I'm talking to you, a lot of assemblers or manufacturers already have different workshops across the country. And then not only that, they already now, because we talk about collaboration. So if you don't need to open your own workshop, and that's part of the reason why we are doing all this training. You don't need to go to, if you are in Lagos, you don't need to go to Damaturu, for example, to open. We have qualified workshops. We have good workshops in Damaturu that you can partner with. Train them, give them the parts, let them know where to access those parts, and then they can now become your partner as well as your agent in that area. And that's what we are doing with them now. Again, there are some apps which also we are still developing with them. We are developing one with Association of Local Content Manufacturers. So local content. So those ones, we are developing another app. From that app, you can access the parts across wherever you want, wherever you want it, you can get it. And apart from that, we have instances. I will give you an instance. Somebody bought a car last week from one of the local assemblers. On his way home, somebody hit and the vehicle got damaged, the lamp and everything. And it just made call. And they said, bring it. We are going to fix. It's not about maintenance. It's not about repairing. We are going to replace all those damaged lights.
The same car.
That same car. And then within 2 days, the car was ready on the road again. So what that means is that we can do it, and already it's been done. And I was in one state, I saw a lot of vehicles the state bought from a particular brand in Nigeria. Immediately I asked the supplier, how many workshops do you have? And he told me the kind of workshop we have built in that state. What again, that means that state, they don't need to be ordering for parts, and that workshop is already there. So the more people buy, the more the assembler will be encouraged to open this workshop. But I've told them, we've agreed, you don't need to wait for when you will get those patronage before we have this kind of agreement with other qualified workshop or good workshop that can be used to service Nigerian-made vehicles.
Interesting stuff. In your achievements, I see that you've established 18 training centers across the country, or is it more than that? And also trained over 30,000 technicians to enhance local expertise. Can you shed more light on this?
Okay, we have automotive training centers across the states of the Federation. We have 21, we have built 21 already, but not all have been equipped. So, and those ones that have been equipped, we're in the process of transferring them to private. We want to do private partnership where we transfer the maintenance, that's the running of those ATC, that is Automotive Training Center, to private sector, people that will be able to manage it better. So, but why do we do this? Because we notice that there is this gap. If you want to train people, you must be able to train them with modern equipment, so that because the vehicles that are coming now require some kind of equipment for you to maintain them. And you need to expose our technicians to this kind of equipment. That's why we built this training center. I mentioned the other time that we have 7 pillars in NAIDP, and one of the pillars is capacity building. So in building that capacity, we need to provide necessary equipment tools that will aid the training, and so that we'll be able to, our technicians will be able to acquire the new technology that is needed to work on this vehicle. That was why we did that. And in the number of technicians we have trained, that is all put together, and we are still training more, both two-wheeler, three-wheeler. We are doing two-wheeler, three-wheeler, as well as four-wheeler, and even we are training technicians that are working on heavy-duty vehicle, like trucks, all those ones. So the training cut across all form of automotives. So that's why we have huge number that we have trained, and we continue to do retraining. No, we don't only train. Apart from training, we still empower them with some tools, modern tools that they need to use in their day-to-day activities. For example, you need diagnostic machine. So most of them that don't have, after the training, we expose them to the use of diagnostic machine, and sometimes we empower them with diagnostic machine.
All right, finally, before I let you go, almost finally, let's talk about, you've talked about CNG, electric vehicles, because that's the way to go. We can see, even in Lagos, I see plenty of them now, even used for car taxis and all of that across the state. So how well are we also set? Because I know all of these trainings, I think CNG and electric vehicle maintenance is also inculcated in the, it's all encompassing in the training that they have, right?
Yes.
So I just want to know how prepared our technicians are for electric and CNG vehicles moving forward.
Yes, for CNG vehicle, we can say we're 100% prepared.
Good.
So for electric vehicle, the training is still ongoing. And then even though we have come up with curriculum that I mentioned the other time, National Occupational Standard, that's going to serve as guide to trainers. The trainer is going to use that one to train people on the maintenance of electric vehicle. And that's why on our own we have started by introducing that training, that curriculum. But we still have a long way to go, and we are on it to train more people, especially on the use of electric, on how to maintain electric vehicle. We have the equipment for training already available, and then we are talking to a lot of facilitators who are experts in this area, because electric vehicle maintenance is different from all other forms of vehicles. So it requires some specialized training, which we are putting together now. So in the next few months, we'll be able to say we have so number of experts that can handle electric vehicle. However, most of the assemblers and assemblers that are already assembling electric vehicle in Nigeria, they have the people they've trained, the people that some of them sent abroad for training, or some of them they brought in those trainers that train their own staff and their own technicians on how to maintain. So what they do now is that majority of the seller do the maintenance. But we want it to go beyond that. That's why we need to train more, so that all the technicians outside, because you may not want to go back to seller for the seller to, or assembler to train, to maintain the vehicle. So we want to train more technicians so that Nigeria will be free. If you buy it in Lagos and you are coming to Abuja and anything happens along the way, you must be able to get technicians around that side to fix it. That's what we are doing currently.
All right, then. So let's allow you, as we wrap this up now, what more should you be?
Vehicle parts, we have come up with end of life for vehicle. Yes. So that end of life regulation is on, and the investors are coming in. We are having discussion with them on how to do that. Because if you look at the regulation, and again, if you look at a particular motor vehicle, even when they reach the end of life, you realize that 90 to 95% of that scrap can be recycled. And then 65% of a new vehicle can come, the part of what material used in building a new vehicle, 65% of them can come from the recycled materials. So now we want to focus more on that, and that's our next step. That is where we are moving to, and that's where we are going to focus more on.
Mr. Osanipin is the Director-General, National Automotive Design and Development Council. And let me congratulate you. It's not Otumba. Osanipin, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you
for
having me on.
All right then. Coming up on the show, we'll stay with our conversations around Nigeria's tax reforms, of course, in a stabilizing economy. I have the former president of the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He's also a tax administrator. Sir Samuel Agbeluyi will join me live also in the studio after this break for that conversation. Don't go away.